Well, as you can see, just looking at the surroundings, they invited me back. Never thought I'd end up playing the same stage twice, but there you go. We're at the Heights Theater in Columbia Heights, Minnesota, and you know, I gotta say, this is kind of surreal and rather a rush for me, being a traditionalist in the way of movies. You know, seeing the old school stage, seeing the classic pipe organ that I mentioned in the previous show, just the way theaters are supposed to be. This is so cool. But before I get off track, we're going to launch into our top block of disaster films. More of a generic round of films this time around. We got some that can be classified as war films, but they're disasters because they help in not the films, but the events that were portrayed in the films. Some that are portrayed as horror films maybe, but they can still be classified as disasters. So yeah, I kind of was grasping at straws a little bit this time around, but you know, that's my prerogative, being, you know, a producer and all that. But anyway, with that being said, we're going to kick into this block with something called The Battle of Britain from 1969, British-made film. Tora, 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 probably my favorite classic war film of all time. It's cool because it talks about, I'll talk about it later, Tora, Tora, Tora from 1970, regarding December 7th, and, you know, and I'll say no more at this time. Jaws from 1975, classic horror film. Kind of hindered the beach business for a while following its release, but, you know, without that being said. Elephant Walk from 1954, kind of a lost film in a lot of ways. And these last two are the ones I was talking about that be classified as horror if you want, but they could still be classified as more or less ecological disaster films. There, I said it. Phase 4 from 1974. Ants taking over the planet. Enough said. And Empire of the Ants from 1977 with a young Joan Collins. So with that said, let's kick into these, and you know, I may give my 2 cents about them when we come back.
By the spring of 1940, Germany had crushed virtually all of Europe. Now, all that stood between total conquest and the rest of the world was a handful of young British pilots in a handful of untried airplanes. The Battle of Britain was about to begin.
I feel.
Spitfires, Heintels, Stukas, Messerschmitts, the actual machines of war that fought in the most monumental air battle of all time. The Battle of Britain. Rated G.
Why was one nation unprepared while another was geared for war? Why was the President of the United States office considered a security risk? How did the Japanese rehearse their doomsday attack on Pearl Harbor? Why did they keep the American command in the dark? What part was played by the strange Japanese officer they called Gandhi? How did U.S. intelligence know of the attack before the Japanese ambassador did? What was the fateful blunder made by Admiral Nagumo? How was a mighty Japanese task force able to race 4,000 miles across the Pacific undetected? What caused the notorious radar error?
Yeah, well, don't worry about it. Here's a message to the commanding general of Fort Shafter.
Is it marked urgent?
No?
Why was Washington's last urgent warning sent by ordinary telegram? The sun came up, the bombs came down, and the world came apart. For the first time, a motion picture tells what really happened at Pearl Harbor. spectacular film ever made.
Tora, Tora, Tora!
Today, who has survived millions of years of evolution, without change, without passion, and without logic. It lives to kill. A mindless, eating machine. It will attack and devour anything. It is as if God created the devil and gave him jaws.
You're going to need a bigger boat.
That's a 20-footer.
25. 3 tons on them.
Hurry it up, he's coming straight for us. Don't screw it up now. Don't wait for me. Now! Shoot! Watch the tail! Give him room! I can't, he's trying to run!
None of man's fantasies of evil can compare with the reality of Jaws. Roy Scheider, Robert Shaw, Richard Dreyfuss. Jaws. See it before you go swimming.
By the terrifying defiance of the great elephant herd.
Nothing to worry about.
The servants, they ran away.
You'll get used to that.
And the fury of the giants of the jungle, breaking loose in a savage orgy of destruction.
They're sending back my message.
What does it mean?
This is no message.
If there's an intelligence there, I want it to know there's an intelligence here. I believe that they'll move rather quickly into desert areas, taking over the countryside first, then laying siege to towns and cities. We have only one chance. Our weaknesses? Why don't they kill us? What do they want?
Ants, both big and smart, make even tougher adversaries for humankind in Empire of the Ants, based on an H.G. Wells story.
In this fantastic tale, Wells tells the chilling story of a colony of ants who feed on atomic waste, causing them to grow into large, voracious monsters.
Ah, let's get out of here, come on!
And these giant ants are actually able to control humans.
He needs us. That's why it has to be this way. Why we must obey. At first, the people don't understand. They must be forced into submission. After their indoctrination, they realize that the ants only want us to take care of them and work for them, feed them. That's the way it should be, for they are superior.
I mean, they don't want us to go that way, and they don't want us to go back the way we came.
My God, they're hurting us like cattle!
H.G. Wells' Empire of the Ants. For they shall inherit the earth sooner than you think.
Okay, so you saw this this mixed bag of trailers that we had for the disaster area this time around. Battle of Britain from 1969, not the strongest of films cinematically, but you could have a little fun game going, with Spot the Stars. See how many faces you recognize in this movie. As I said, Tora from 1970, probably the most accurate retelling of the story of Pearl Harbor, just due to the fact that in the movie, they showed both sides. You got to see the Japanese commander's side of things, you got to see the U.S. Navy's side of things, and it's a strong movie even today, but it works. You can keep that other POS Pearl Harbor that was released not too many years back, but this one they did it without the music soundtrack, without the love scenes. They focused on the event itself and not so much on the personal end of things, but that's my opinion, and take it for what it is. Jaws from 1975, classic adaptation of the Peter Benchley novel. Speaking of, if you watch carefully, if you have a good eye for this, look for a cameo by the author of Jaws, Peter Benchley, in this film. He plays a reporter on the beach. It's a real quick cameo. It's almost like the way Hitchcock did it, but watch the movie, see if you can spot it. Elephant Walk from 1954. I don't even know what to say about this film. It's different. I'll leave it at that. Phase 4 from 1974, ants taking over the planet. Intelligent ants taking over the planet. Ants that are smarter than mankind. Ants taking over everything. Ants telling us what to do. Interesting, fascinating film. Yeah, it could happen. And on the backside of that, Empire of the Ants from 1977, I said it starred a young Joan Collins. And the reason I'm laughing is those of you that have read the story that this came from, the original H.G. Wells story, Empire of the Ants, it pales to the story, as 9 times out of 10 most Hollywood movie adaptations will of any literary work. But that's the way they do it. They gotta make it exciting for the audience, and they'll stray away from the story and take liberties. But that's the way a lot of Hollywood producers will operate. So, with that being said, we're gonna take a break, and Abbott Costello on the backside. We'll be right back.
This is my friend, the Grumman Tiger. It's a jet, and I'm Ralph Donald, its test pilot. It takes a lot of training to control one of these babies. My son Wayne will learn someday.
Right now, though, he's getting ready by learning to control a Lionel electric train. With a Lionel train, you not only get locomotives and cars, but all sorts of missile and rocket equipment, too. You can learn to operate these Lionel missile launchers. And fire this IRBM launcher by pressing a button. Wow, and look, you can put this target together and blow it up again and again. And look at this, the Lionel helicopter car. Watch her fly. And remember, kids, you're in control. You're the boss on the Lionel line. Ask for Lionel this Christmas.
Fat Cat Torture Track, built just to prove that Fat Cat, the only truck with climax-action traction, performs like no other truck ever built. To really prove it, Remco engineers removed climax-action traction from this truck marked X and left it in this Fat Cat truck. The trucks approach the torture track. Keep your eye on Fat Cat with climax-action traction. She rocks, she rolls, she's moving up. But the other truck is still at the bottom because it doesn't have climax-action traction. Only Fat Cat with climax-action traction still roars over the rugged torture track. She made it, she's up, she's over. Fat Cat, the only truck with climax-action traction. And Fat Cat has a movable crane, a motorized winch for heavy cargo, high and low speeds, forward and reverse gears, and a removable top. Get Tiger Cat, the climax-action traction Jeep, too, wherever you get Fat Cat by Remco.
Hey, let's play a guessing game. Who is the fellow who drives this train?
It's Jolly Blippo, a building frame driving Blippo Choo-Choo.
It's the Blippo Choo-Choo with a real tootin' train whistle, cow catcher, smokestack, and lots more. Building blocks and panels galore.
Crank his train and chug away. Which of these things will you build today with?
Blippo Choo-Choo.
Build a spaceship or a bridge or a fort. Get extra blocks for bigger things, too. Build a tunnel. There's plenty to do with
Blippo Choo-Choo.
Lock blocks here, snap panels there, and Blippo, there's a tower in the air. Get the Blippo Choo-Choo, complete with Blippo himself, and over 170 building blocks and panels.
Crank his train and chug away.
There's lots more things you can build today with Blippo Choo-Choo.
And remember, you can get Blippo the Builder in his own construction truck, too, wherever you get it.
Blippo Choo-Choo.
By Remco.
Okay, it's come to that time. Abbott and Costello, this being the middle block of the of trailers for Trailer Trash TV. This is the comedy block, and we're trying to play each and every Abbott and Costello trailer the first part of the season, and we're about midway through right now. So we're going to launch into this block with In Society from 1944, followed by a Middle Eastern flick called Lost in a Harem, and the Naughty 90s from 1945 with a classic routine of theirs in this one, and Abbott and Costello in Hollywood from 1945. So let's check these out, and I'll be right back to chat about them.
Yikes, Mr. Manfield.
Hey, you're steel too. Yikes and away. We're those jolly jerks on the trail of a fancy fox hunt. They're living the life of Riley with Newport's smartest cuties and Southampton's bathing beauties. With Arthur Treacher, Marion Hutton, Kirby Grant, Thomas Gomez, and Gillis, Will Osborne and his orchestra. It's the season's big coming out party and a perfectly ripping weekend. With Abbott and Costello making fox passes at the lasses.
Now, when you get it fixed, whistle in and out now.
Okay.
Nobody doubt it, I mean no doubt about it, I
sir, if I may start undressing you now? You're going to undress me? Yes, sir. The last person that ever undressed me was my mother, and that was a year ago. You key.
And I can bet a horse can get 10,000 back for two. But for goodness sake, what does it take? What does it take to get you? 15 men on a dead man's chest.
I have the only key that will open the door. And I'm keeping that so that my husband Nemesis cannot reach her to marry.
No. At least give us a sporting chance.
I expect to do this in one stroke.
What's far on this hole?
One.
There.
I'd leave my affiance for you. Ooh, you're the nicest man I ever knew. Ooh, if you take me and just break me in the business too. Ooh, I'd leave my affiance for you.
Seven's their point in a gambling joint, where the schnapps is hot, but the cows ain't true.
I think I'm getting the Mickey.
It's Dangerous Dan McAbbott and the guy who is known as Lou, bringing you those roaring days of Oh You Kids and 23 Skidoo.
Oh, you did it. You tell him, Upholstery, you got the stuff.
You tell him, Ammonia, you've got the spirit.
Come. I'm gonna help Captain Sam.
Attaboy.
Because I'm true blue.
Attaboy.
I'm afraid of nobody.
I know, but take it easy.
What is the fella's name on third base?
What is the fella's name on second base?
I'm not asking you who's on second.
Who's on third?
I don't know. Third base.
So you slipped us a cold deck just because of a dame, huh?
Action.
I don't believe that would work.
Oh, I think it would.
Oh, I think it would too.
Oh, it's 2-1. Let's try it.
Yeah.
All right, let's try it.
Well, look at one. Sorry you lost, old man.
Well, what I...
When you get into the scene,
Yeah.
Can I have your autograph?
No.
Okay. Hey,
Yeah.
that reminds me.
What's the matter?
Something can catch me.
Oh, that's just your imagination. Your imagination. Don't worry about it. What is that?
My imagination.
Dad!
you silly-looking goon. What's the idea of dropping that hot towel on my face?
It was burning my hands.
Oh.
Because we're gonna win the most of all the fun along the midway.
Step inside. She never fakes it.
There's a ride that really makes it fun on the wonderful midway.
In Society from 1944, Abbott and Costello are portraying a pair of plumbers who somehow are mistaken for society elite. Somehow it's workable, kind of a stretch. Not their greatest film, but they had some decent routines in here. Like I said, Lost in a Harem, I'm laughing about it because this, I think, started the downturn of Abbott and Costello as a team. I don't know if they felt they were going stale or running out of material, but this movie seemed to be a lot like a lot of their earlier ones. It became very formulaic. Same routines, same shtick, same plot lines. A lot of deja vu in this film. The Naughty 90s, a lot like Lost in the Harem with one exception. There's one routine in here that stands out. Those of you that have seen the film will remember this routine. And when I mention the name of the routine, those of you that haven't seen the film will think, oh yeah, this is the film that launched their Who's on First routine. Otherwise, the film was kind of blah. Abbott and Costello in Hollywood from 1945. This was cool because you get the company they were with at the time, MGM, let them in backstage. So you got to see a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff in this film at MGM. And otherwise, the plot itself is pretty flat. So it's worth the rental, don't get me wrong, but it's worth it mainly for just the behind-the-scenes angles that they do. So with that being said, I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to go refill my popcorn, and we'll be right back with Troma.
Mystery Day, are you ready for your Mystery Day? Don't be late, it would be great. Open the door for your Mystery Day.
It's Mystery Date, the thrilling new Milton Bradley game of romance and mystery that's just for you. And you, and you, and you. Mystery Date. Will you be ready for swimming or a dance? When you open the door, will your mystery date be a dream or a dud? Fun and surprises. That's Mystery Date. Remember, Milton Bradley makes the best games in the world. So, girls,
open the door for your Mystery Day.
Get Mystery Date.
Greatest toy you've ever seen. Travels by water. But think it's a boat? Turn it over. Travels by land. It's 2 toys in 1, and you can't buy it at any store. But you can get it now for only 10 cents and 1 box top from a specially marked package of country cornflakes with rice, plus a label from your favorite brand of any California prune product. Wow, what a toy. You'll want 2 or 3 so that you can race them. 7 1/8 inches long. Rubber band motor, plastic model kit comes complete. Wind them up. Goes on land and water. Remember, only 10 cents and a box top from country cornflakes with rice. Plus, a label from any brand of California prunes. Eat them anytime right out of the package. Send for your land and water rover today. Address on specially marked packages of Big G country cornflakes.
Okay, the more I've researched this next film company, like I've been doing, Troma Pictures out of the East Coast, the more I look at Troma, the more I appreciate the lesser-known directors, the B films. There are still modern-day B films out there, don't get me wrong, but the more I look at Troma, the less I see that all the film writers are writing about Troma. I cannot find a single ounce of information on Troma films aside from what's been written by Troma themselves. Take that for what it's worth. And if you have any information on Troma, aside from Troma's website, or I can find information on their films, please let me know. sjtrailertrash@yahoo. But this block of Troma, we're going to go into a documentary that was produced for Troma Films called Jefftown. Follow that up with Femme Fontaine, Killer Babe for the CIA. Yes, that's the title. I kid you not. And then we're going to end it with a film called Troma's War. Kind of a send-off on any traditional war picture that was shot in the past. So with that said, we're going to launch into these. And, I don't know, coming up soon, we're going to be going into Cliffhanger Corner. Stay tuned.
My daughter went along with me to the hospital, and she said, I'd take a chance on him, Mother.
And the actual parents, what is their story? They,
The mother did not want to leave it, and the father, that's the way it happened. And they had 4 children, 2 girls and 2 boys. And the other boy, I think they had, you know how this happened? You know what the real condition is of it?
No.
His great-grandfather and grandmother, or great-grandfather and grandmother, were first cousins.
1, 2, 3, cut! She's a great grandmare of the bride of the groom. See her weaving stand across the floor all night. With a big white beard and a pale moonlight. She can do those walks and do the 2-step too. The electric slide or the old soft shoe. She's treasure name is Italy by June. Talking about the grandma move.
You like Mom?
No. I'm working with a publishing company, and that's what I'm trying to tell you. That's where
Publishers Clearinghouse?
Huh?
The Publishers Clearinghouse?
Yes. 4 years I've been with them. Didn't you see what you know how you get this, we're in the $10 and $11 million category. We are the leading ones, Jeff and I.
You don't like her at all?
No.
She raised a fine daughter and 2 fine sons all by herself through the depression. She ain't rich, but she sure is fun. I love that old grandma move.
I think people think that he's slow, stupid, and basically just retarded, but I really don't think that's the truth of the matter. He's going through life easy. It's easier than anybody else's life. He comes to the theater, he gets free beer, he gets free clothes, he gets to fondle women without getting in trouble. I mean, I can't do that.
Oh, well, he has some heart trouble. Jeff has some heart trouble. I've taken care of that leg myself, because I myself am a graduate in the fluid.
Did you go back to her place with her?
Yeah.
And was she sad?
Yeah.
And then what?
But,
She got you a beer?
yeah.
And you had some beers?
Yeah.
And then what else? You kissed her?
Yeah.
Or did she kiss you? She kiss you?
Yeah.
Were you naked?
No.
Was she naked?
Yeah.
Something in your arm?
Yeah.
Did she put something in your arm?
Yeah.
How'd she put it in there? She made a hole in your arm and put something in there?
Yeah.
Like with a needle?
Yeah.
There was Dirty Harry. There was James Bond. Now, there's Femme Fontaine.
Prince, is this lady mad? Lying Nazi bitch!
The Troma team proudly presents the first truly dramatic female action hero in Femme Fontaine. Killer babe for the CIA.
Gee, I don't know whether to feel flattered or insulted.
She is action. She is passion.
It's show and tell time, baby.
She is a babe.
I wanted to make sure I got your attention.
She is definitely killer.
You taught me well.
Margot Hope is Femme Fontaine. Killer babe for the CIA.
You are a pretty bold woman to talk to me like this.
Well, it takes one to know one, doesn't it?
Fabulously fit and frighteningly furious, Femme Fontaine explodes onto the screen with non-stop action and inspired post-feminist fury.
You are so fucking pathetic. You know that, Gertrude?
An unforgettable tale of murder,
What do you mean? No one was supposed to get killed?
suspense,
How much longer must I wait?
and fishnet stockings.
You make quite an entrance.
Femme Fontaine. Killer babe for the CIA.
We need you to infiltrate.
Consider it a done deal.
Nothing stands in her way as she lays waste to crack-addicted porn peddlers.
I ain't coming now. No, something big just came up.
Elitist scumbag skinheads.
Fuck you, bitch.
That's not likely to happen.
And lice-infested lesbian feminazis.
Right on.
Only the Troma team has the guts to bring you a truly politically correct action movie.
Eat shit and die.
This kid has definite potential.
Margot Hope is Femme Fontaine. Killer babe for the CIA. From Troma.
Oh, well, I tried. Back to the old drawing board.
It began as a dream in peaceful paradise. It ended as a nightmare on a barrel house battlefield. They were average people, just like you and me.
Little fella gonna be okay?
Until their vacation was cut short by a tragic plane crash.
Whoever was flying that crate was an asshole.
Stranded on an island full of ruthless international terrorists, these helpless civilians are hunted down like animals. They are captured, tortured. They are driven to the very limits of human endurance until they declare war.
Let's kick some butt!
Troma's War. It's the biggest, the most ambitious, the most expensive motion picture in the 15-year history of Troma Films. Troma's War deals with today's burning social issues. Psychotic Siamese twins lead ferocious fascist pigs. Now, it's up to a few good citizens to stop this diabolical military threat.
Just point me in the right direction. I'll blow their balls off. This is war.
You must see Troma's War. It's the most explosive, thrill-packed, death-defying, stunt-filled action film you will ever witness. Troma's War makes Rambo 3 look like Lassie Come Home. Variety. A Troma extravaganza. Positively upscale. The New York Post. Troma's War. Rated R.
Screaming Mimi rifle, the rifle of the year. Look, Screaming Mimi, the only rifle that shoots the screaming grenade you can hear. Listen. Release gun lock, you've got a close-range pistol. Shoots the same screaming grenade. Listen. Get the Screaming Mimi rifle with a grenade you can hear. Plus the detachable Screaming Mimi pistol. But that's not all. It shoots 5 plastic bullets. And look, there's a separate Screaming Mimi pistol, too. This one shoots grenades and caps. Screaming Mimi, the only rifle that shoots the grenade you can hear. Screaming Mimi by Remco.
Okay, now that I actually got my notes with me this time around, one of the favorite areas of Trailer Trash has become Cliffhanger Corner. That being said, I figured, the setting was right. As I said last week, compared to last year's Batman and Robin from 1949 Columbia, this season we're going to do a different chapter from a different serial each and every episode of Trailer Trash TV. So this particular installment, we got a 1934 mascot serial entitled Burn 'Em Up Barnes. Yeah, Burn 'Em Up Barnes was a race car driver character, something that wasn't utilized a whole lot, and after seeing this, you'll probably see why. But the serial itself is a lost art. You can't touch it now. It was a reason for theater goers to come back to the theater each and every week. You'd see a 10 or 15 minute chapter of what was known as a chapter play, aka a movie serial. It was one story that was stretched out to anywhere from 12 to 15 chapters, usually with a cliffhanger ending for each chapter. Thusly, you'd have to come back the next week, and the theater owners got their money real easy. But in that time, you could come in and see not only a chapter play, but you'd see short subjects, you'd see newsreels, you'd see cartoons, you'd probably see a double feature. You could spend a whole day at a theater for less than a cup of coffee runs now. You'd come in for a nickel, come in for a quarter, kids come in for a nickel. You could sit in the theater all day and never see the same thing twice. You think a theater owner would do that now? Not on your life. That being said, I'm gonna get off my soapbox once again, but my 2 cents, take it for what it is, and I'll take change back if need be. So with that said, let's launch into Cliffhanger Corner.
I've got to hand it to you, Warren. Your act was so good, I nearly believed it myself. But why give him a chance to earn $1,000?
He has as much chance of collecting that $1,000 as he has of collecting the prize money.
You mean that car test is so dangerous? Don't you think you're carrying this a little too far?
We've got to get rid of Barnes. We can never force Marjorie Temple to sell us her land as long as she has him for a partner.
What the for you push him up, Tony? Shh! I don't want anybody to see me with this camera.
What's the matter? You stealing him?
No, it's mine. My brother left it to me.
Then what were you scared?
Burn him up's gonna test a new car, and I want to make some pictures of it. But Marjorie and he don't want me to go.
Bobby, where are you?
Hide me, quick!
Keep it in back the other way.
Tony, have you seen Bobby?
Why, he was here just 1 minute ago.
Well, didn't you see where he went? Are you hiding something from me, Tony?
Me? Why, Miss Margie, what you say?
Tony, you're up to something, and I know it.
No, no,
Tony?
no. Oh! What do you push him up, Tony, for?
thought so. Bobby. Oh, be a good sport, Marjorie, and don't tell Burnham up. Why, I might get a lot of money for my pictures. All right, Bobby. Gee, you're swell. I don't blame Burnham up for liking you.
Wish me luck, partner.
Do be careful, Burnham up.
Don't worry. I'll be back before you know it. We'll make a down payment on our new school bus.
Sorry Mr. Warren couldn't get here, but he's given me full instructions. Here comes the car now.
That's sure a powerful sounding motor.
You'll find she's got plenty of speed.
I'll take her up the road and see how she handles.
There he goes on his last ride.
You know, Red Pat, we ought to get more dough for a job like this.
Think we could?
Sure, we got the goods on Drummond, haven't we? If he don't come through with a bigger cut, we can make it plenty tough for him.
You're right. I'll go and sound him out right now. You finish fixing that carburetor.
Barnes is trying the car out now. Yeah, everything's all set. I'll keep you posted. What's the matter? Anything wrong?
Plenty. Chase is threatening to squeal.
We'll take care of him.
How?
When Barnes hits that car, Chase will be in it. Here comes Parker.
They're clearing the course, Mr. Drummond.
All right, Parker. Change the flags like I told you.
What do you think of it? Some power. I'm anxious to see what you'll do.
You can make the real test in a few minutes, but be sure to stay on the open road. Don't make any turn that's blocked with flags.
I won't forget.
That carburetor's acting up again. Take a look at it, will you, Chase?
All clear, Barnes. Good luck. And don't forget about those flags.
Look out, burn him up!
Call an ambulance, quick. It's no use.
I saw his car, but it was too late to stop. They told me the course would be clear.
The course was clear. You deliberately left it. You hated Chase. You planned this to kill him.
What are you talking about? I took this course because it was open. The other course was blocked by flags.
That's a lie. This road was very plainly blocked by flags, and you drove right through them. Grab him, boys, and lock him up in the tool house. I'll call the police.
Hey, kid! Wait a minute!
What's the matter?
That kid Bobby just left here with a motion picture camera.
You suppose he got pictures of what happened?
He must have. He ran away when he saw me. We better stop him.
Fire! We've got to get Barnes out of there. It's jammed. We'll have to break it in. Come on.
You're not allowed to shoot pictures on a proving ground, Sonny. You'll have to give me that film.
Don't take it away from me, mister. Please. I'll get a lot of money for it, and it's not hurting anybody.
It won't when we get through with it.
Fine. We got the film, let's beat it. Right.